that we shared as far as, this is right from our region. The average new member to a BNI chapter in Kentucky, Southern Tennessee, or Southern Indiana, Middle Tennessee region generates over $12,900 of income to the chapter on a yearly basis. Each new member. Here's an interesting stat too though, 43% of the BNI chapters that we have in our region do not follow up with the potential new members and visitors. 3% of the sales are made on the second contact. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. You've heard that if you're in sales, that it takes multiple contacts to actually close a sale. Most BNI chapters do not have a system to even follow up with our guests that are here. Today we're going to talk about the system that is so important to us, and that's our visitors, how to follow up with them, and how can we create and maximize the visitors' experience while they're here in BNI. Today I'm going to, again, ask my visitors host to help me. I got little signs for each one of them, by the way. And so I'm going to actually I want you to stay over here, because you're going to be our first one, which is our pre-meeting host right here. I don't even know, Lauren, do you have these there? Who do you got as our game day host? Our game day is called Beverly. Beverly's the game day host. You can see right over here. We've got Justin. Yeah, Justin. Josh? Yep. Justin is actually the master connector. I'm sorry. You're the visitor orientation guy. And then we have Robin.
Right here.
Oh, we've moved you, Robin.
Yeah.
We've moved you. Here's Claude. He is so good. We're going to give him 2 positions. So you're going to hold him just like that, okay?
I'm new.
And no, that's how good you are. We feel so good about you that we're going to give you 2 positions, okay? There he is, the follow-up host and off the hook. There's actually 6 different positions, if you want to say, in the visitor follow-up system. We're going to talk about each one of these briefly today. Pre-meeting host is a brand new position we just developed today. Pre-meeting host. And there's our pre-meeting hostess right here. Yeah. What is the pre-meeting host for? Here's what they do, is they are contacted by our members prior to the meeting. That's what the pre part is. Prior to the meeting, you're going to send your visitors, who you know that you've invited and said that they'd like to come, you're going to send that information to our pre-meeting visitor host, their name and their contact information, prior to the meeting. Hopefully several days prior to the meeting, okay? Because what the pre-meeting visitor host is going to do is she is going to make a phone call to them. Several days prior to the meeting, we haven't decided if it's going to be on a Friday or Monday, because you guys meet on Tuesday, but she's going to call them and say, hey, good news. Mr. Smith, I heard Barry invited you to our meeting. We want to thank you for coming this coming Tuesday. We want to make sure as far as that we have enough seats, so we want to confirm that you're going to be there. And oh, by the way, were you planning on bringing someone else with you? Because you're more than welcome to do that. Oh, Barry invited Mr. Smith, and how about if they asked Mr. Smith to bring another guest? You got 2 visitors now. Very cool. That's what the pre-meeting visitor host is going to do, is contact all of our visitors prior to them even coming, thanking them for coming and confirming them going to be there. Why is that important? Well, yeah, I mean, if Mr. Smith told Barry he's going to be here, and then Mr. Smith kind of blows Barry off, is he going to really feel too bad?
No.
Well, maybe, if he likes Barry. But if he blows both of these people off, saying, no, I'm not going to show up, then he's going to feel maybe pretty bad. That's why we created this pre-meeting visitor host, to increase the probability of them actually showing up. The next one is our game day host. Game day host, you've seen Beverly do it now for years. She does an awesome job. She meets people at the door, greets them, gets them to sign in as far as gets the visitor host, visitor sign-in sheet filled out. That's what our game day host does, and she does a great job. She's in the dictionary next to BNI for game day visitor host. She does a great job. Master connector. What our master connector is supposed to do is stand right next to our game day host, right over there next to the table. And as our visitors come in, our master connector is going to welcome them, get 2 business cards from them, put on the back of the business cards who invited this visitor there, but also then walk the visitor out into the members out here as we're networking and introduce them, thus Master Connector, to us as members, so we can start to network with that guest. Excuse me as I get some more to drink here. Our next one is our visitor orientation person. At the end of the meeting, we have a nice orientation for our visitors to answer questions for them. Our visitor orientation specialist, our host, will guide them through that process, answer questions for our visitors, give them opportunity to get an application, and even sign up as a member that day. That's what our visitor orientation specialist does. And then finally, our Superman here, who's got two positions, but our follow-up host and our off-the-hook host. Let me talk about these. Follow-up host duties are to take the information we've gathered as far as our visitors and put them up on the visitor BNI website, first of all, that we have visitors, but also to send them a thank you email for coming. And also, pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I just want to thank you again for coming. If you have any questions about BNI, we want to answer those questions for you. And oh, by the way, if this is your first time here visiting with us, you're more than welcome to come again next week, because a visitor can come twice to a BNI meeting. We'd love to have you back next week. That's what the follow-up host does. And then the off-the-hook host is a new one we added this year also that goes along with this pre-meeting host. Again, the pre-meeting host had a whole list of people that were supposed to be here. Remember Mr. Smith that Barry invited? Mr. Smith didn't show up. He not only dissed Barry, but also our pre-meeting visitor host got dissed too, because she called and he said, yes, I'd be there. Well, what the off-the-hook host is going to do now, the off-the-hook host is going to call Mr. Smith, who didn't show up, who said he was going to, and get him off the hook. Because he's not going to feel right if Barry called him and say, hey, why weren't you here? We've got a guy who doesn't even know Mr. Smith. Say, hey, Barry said you were coming this week, and we missed you, by the way. We'd love you to come this week. We have another opportunity for you to come. Can we count on you being here? That gets the guy off the hook, and he says, oh yeah, I'd love to be there. That's what the off-the-hook host is going to do, is get that customer off the hook, and a visitor, I should say. And then what do? We put them back on the pre-meeting visitor host sheet that we have another visitor. Mr. Smith said he's going to be here, and she'll call him again. Okay? That is the system as far as the BNI is put together. And the chapters that are using this system successfully are not only helping our visitors have a tremendous experience when they come to a BNI meeting. The visitors love hearing from these people. They feel very loved. They feel that these people care about them. But secondly, they're growing the chapter, because the visitors that come, again, not only are they business for us, but the people that are visiting and they get followed up like this, treated like this, they want to be a part of this chapter. We are going to, according to the leadership team, they want to implement this whole system. So we're going to get it going. I need your help. Here is your homework for this next week. First of all, how can a member help out? We want to invite visitors, number one. As you invite visitors during the week, you're going to notify our pre-meeting visitor host of that visitor. You're going to give them name and contact information to the pre-meeting visitor host. The second thing you can do as a member is make the visitor feel welcome when they're here. So important. Two things. Be sure that they're never left alone. Don't ever leave a visitor alone. Don't hound them, don't stalk them, but don't leave them alone, okay? Make sure they feel welcome. Introduce them to more people as far as to network with. The second thing is introduce them to other members, especially if they're in the same business sphere, contact sphere. Introduce that visitor to that type of person, okay, in the group. Lastly, as far as homework, follow up with the visitors after the meeting. I'm talking about you, the members. Yeah, they're going to do their job, but it's important that you as members also follow up with the visitors. Tell them that you like them being here. Invite them back again. In my own chapter, I actually asked the visitor to do a one-to-one with me. I get to know them, their business, and hey, maybe they'll do business with me. Kind of cool. Follow up with the visitors that are here. As a member, I'm asking you to do that. And you're going to have that opportunity, because the follow-up host, as they put the list together, they're going to email it out to you as far as all the visitors that were here and their contact information. So that is your homework as far as members. And we're going to talk to you guys right after the meeting as far as to set you guys up to know exactly what your positions are and what to do during the meetings and before the meetings and after the meetings, okay? I've got exactly 43 seconds here. Any other questions that you guys have as a group about this system? Any questions? Do you see how it can work? If you work the system, it's going to work, because again, just like BNI has a system for everything, the groups that work the system, it works for them. If you don't work the system, I guarantee it won't work. Again, I want to thank you very much for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed the presentation. If you have questions about this system or how you can be of help in the system, come see me, the leadership team, or any of the visitor hosts. I'm sure they would love your help, okay? Thank you very much, and thank you, team. I appreciate it.